The last light of day reddens the dry earth. The primitive tribe moves in silence, their breaths blending with the dusty wind. Ahead lies their only refuge, the distant forest. But the darkness before them warns of lurking danger. When the leading male halts, survival instinct freezes the whole tribe. From the shadow behind the rocks, the predators emerge, their eyes glowing in the fading light. The tribe understands the path ahead is blocked. Confrontation between the weak and the hunters begins in silence. The air is as heavy as stone. The giant predators close the circle, step by step, slow but certain. The primitive tribe presses their backs against the rock wall, gripping their crude weapons tight. Eyes tense, bodies trembling but unmoving. Every motion is instinct between life and death. The wind sweeps across the stone, carrying the scent of flesh and dust. In that moment, fear turns into clarity. The tribe understands that a single misstep will end everything in the claws of the enemy. Facing near death, the mind awakens. The female of the tribe sees opportunity in stones and vines. A small act, yet measured by instinct and experience. When the rock falls, the crash resounds like thunder. The beasts hesitate, fear flashing for a heartbeat. That brief pause is enough for the males to pull their kin to escape. Dust rises, the wind howls, cries echo behind. From that act, a strange spark lights up in the tribe's mind, the first glimmer of thought, of planning for survival. After a long escape, throats burn dry, thirst overwhelms fear. Moonlight glimmers on a still pool, clear and eerily calm. A male steps forward, plunging his face to drink. The cold water rushes over his lips, bringing the sensation of survival. But within that silence, something feels wrong. A faint metallic scent, a warning unrecognized by instinct. The peace vanishes quickly. The male's body trembles violently, convulses, then collapses. His gasping breaths merge with the whisper of the cold wind. The tribe freezes, terror flooding their eyes. The surface of the water reflects an eerie blue moonlight, shimmering as if another life stirs beneath. The female senses it. That strange scent marks poison, not purity. Confronted with death before their eyes, fear transforms into awareness. The water is no gift, but a trial. panic, the female recalls an old stream once pure beneath sand. With bare hands, she digs into the moist earth, letting the water seep through the grains until it clears. The new stream drips slowly, yet pure. She cups her hands to lift each drop to the dying male. His fading breath steadies, life rekindling in silence. Beside the small pit, the wet sand holds the prints of hands and claw marks. On a cold night, humankind first learns to cleanse water and to see life through the awakening of thought. The primitive tribe moves deeper into the cold ravine. Wind weaves through the cliffs, creating long howls, sometimes deep, sometimes sharp like spirits whispering in the dark. The echoes strike the rock walls, bouncing from every direction, blurring the line between real and illusion. Children cling to their mothers. The males glance around in tension. In the damp shadows, sound becomes an unseen predator. Fear spreads through the tribe, as if they are surrounded by invisible beings, only the breath of wind and stone. As strength fades, minds begin to falter. And the wind and echoes twist into familiar voices inside the wounded male's head. He steps back in panic, believing something approaches. A sudden gust slams the cliff, roaring like a beast. The tribe trembles, thrusting their spears into the dark, striking at nothing. The echo rebounds, feeding the terror further. In that labyrinth of sound, imagination itself becomes humankind's most dreadful enemy. Amid the chaos, the female of the tribe remains calm. She notices the howling comes only when wind passes through holes in the rock. When the wind stops, the sound fades. Through observation, she uncovers the truth behind the invisible demon. Covering the holes with animal hide, the shrieking ceases. The tribe freezes fear unveiled by a single act. For the first time, humankind understands that not all terrors are enemies. Some are merely the breath of nature. primitive tribe enters a strange land, where hundreds of white stone pillars rise like colossal spears. Every direction looks the same. Tangled paths shimmer under the moonlight, reflecting on wet rock. The farther they go, the wearier they become, until they notice old bloodstains that have returned to where they began. Confusion spreads. Cold wind slithers through the crevices. In this natural labyrinth, the tribe realizes that the most terrifying enemy is not the predator, but losing themselves in their own footsteps. A male roars, striking his spear against the ground. The echo rises, then dies within the stone. Despair covers them all. Moonlight gleams on faces coated in dust and sweat. Children whimper softly. A female lifts her head, eyes fixed on the dried blood mark. No more water, no more strength yet in the silence. She sees it clearly. If they cannot escape by force, they must escape by thought. The stone marked with blood becomes the first sign, the point from which order can be rebuilt amid chaos. The female unties a vine, takes a stone, and begins marking the ground. With each step, the vine stays taut, drawing a circle around the central stone. The carved line appears simple, yet profound. The tribe watches and begins to understand. The circle becomes their guide, a place to return when lost. From it, paths are chosen with order, not chance. Under the dim moonlight, that circle stands as the first drawing of thought, the boundary between instinct and reason. After a long journey, the primitive tribe stops before a towering black cliff. Cold wind descends, carrying damp air. As a male begins to climb, shadows burst open, hundreds of winged creatures swarm out, spiraling through the air. Their shrieks slice the silence like blades. The tribe freezes, realizing they have intruded upon the dwelling of the night dwellers. The dense darkness, breath and wing beats merge as one life now hangs by a fragile thread clinging to the cold stone. The creatures dive down, wings slashing against flesh, leaving cuts and blood. A male clings to the cliff, body trembling in the wind. Below, a female climbs while shielding her child. Blood drips from her hands onto the stone, spreading a strong metallic scent. In an instant, the entire swarm shifts direction, drawn to the smell of blood. The air trembles, the wind twists into a storm of wings. The tribe is trapped between the heights and the hunters' one wrong move, and they fall into death's abyss. Fear rises with the roar of wind and blood. Amid despair, an elder male notices something strange. The winged swarm avoids patches of stone coated with a silvery layer. He scrapes it off a sharp, pungent odor spreads, forcing the creatures back. He smears the substance on his skin, then signals the others to do the same. Scent fills the cliffside, driving the predators away. Humankind has used nature's own smell as a shield for the first time. When dawn arrives, they reach the summit, red light shining on their blood, stained bodies. Beneath them, traces of lichen remain silent witnesses of the first discovery of nature's defense. Dawn rises. The first light touching 4 bodies covered in dust, dried blood, and the silvery layer of lichen. The primitive tribe stands silently atop the cliff, gazing down at the old valley once their home. Below, small fires still burn, thin smoke drifting upward. As their silhouettes appear against the sky, the tribe in the valley looks up in fear. They no longer recognize those who returned. The white, covered figures, weary and gaunt, look like spirits risen from the stone carrying something sacred and unknown. Spears rise. The tribe below stands wary. But above, no raw echoes, only slow, deliberate gestures. The elder male lifts a vine, the tool that led them out of the stone maze. The female raises a silver lichen fragment, the scent that repelled the night swarm. Another male holds up the stone bound with vine, the first tool of cunning. 4 objects, 4 memories of their journey, glimmer under the morning sun. They are no longer weapons, but symbols of thought of life that has triumphed over fear. The tribe below falls silent. The chieftain steps forward, tapping his staff 3 times dry, echoing, final. When the elder male extends the vine downward, the chieftain's hand grasps it cracked, rough skin meeting rough skin in between them. A new warmth flows, the warmth of recognition. No words, no sound, only understanding. The returning tribe are no longer strangers. Sunlight spreads, bathing the entire valley. Within the circle of gathered people, those crude objects become the first symbols of knowledge and of inheritance.